Mark, over to you.
Gribe, tonight we're diving back into the legal battle brewing between the City of Scottsdale and stun gun and body cam manufacturer Axon. In fact, that video you just saw was from an Axon body cam. On Monday night, Scottsdale Mayor Lisa Borowski joined us in studio after the Scottsdale City Council voted to allocate $100,000 to hire an attorney to look into challenging the state law that greenlighted Axon's development. Axon's project would include a new world headquarters, up to 2,000 apartment units, plus restaurants and retail, which sounds great, unless you live up there and you think the 101 in Hayden is already too crowded. Well, now the Scottsdale mayor in a citizens referendum has thrown up a stop sign saying, hold on, our residents should have a say in this. Tonight, we're joined by the president of Axon, Josh Isner. Good to see you.
Thank you very much for having me, Mark. Congrats on all your success. Big fan.
Thank you. Listen, as we sit here tonight, can we break some news? Have there been any talks? Have you made any progress with Scottsdale?
No progress in the last few weeks. We thought we were on the right track there, and some of the discussions revolved around, hey, let's put off raising the temperature and going back and spending six figures of taxpayer money on a lawyer. Let's keep working through these negotiations. At one point, the city said, hey, look, we'll do that. We'll continue this for a few weeks and try to get a deal done. And then 3 days later, they approved the motion for a lawyer, and so we're standing by to see how that goes, and we'll be ready.
You know, I want to run this by you because I can see both sides of this issue. You have a great homegrown corporate citizen wanting to create more jobs and to pump a lot of money into the economy. On the other, you have a state legislature essentially thumbing its nose at a large group of citizens who now feel that they've been steamrolled by the government and corporate interests.
I appreciate the question. I'm not sure you're actually hearing that from residents. I think you're hearing that from politicians. And the facts are the facts. And the reality is a paid effort where a California union came in and gathered a bunch of signatures, delivered these signatures to Scottsdale City Council. And at that point, the council could have called an election. You see the Glendale one happening, I think, today or this week. And those signatures came in right around the same time. And so for us, we were looking at this and we said, we got the polling data, and it was the same polling data the city looked at, and that's frankly the reason they wouldn't run an election. And so instead their tactic was to wait 2 years till November of 2026 to try to run out the clock on us and apply some pressure. And 2 years is an eternity for us. That 2 years ago we were a $14 billion company. We had 2,000 employees. Yeah. Fast forward, we've got a $55 billion market cap and 5,000 employees. And so for us, we can't wait 2 years, and going to the state legislature was really our last resort.
Yeah, I think most people, and you just addressed it, can understand the importance of having a great corporate partner in Axon. I just read you guys had a great first quarter, so congratulations on that.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So can you run the numbers for us? I'm sure you've looked at it, and I know you've talked about it. The numbers that this project, if it goes forward with what you have planned with the infill and the corporate headquarters, what kind of numbers does that look like?
Yeah, we're excited to contribute about $4 billion to the Arizona economy and add 5,500 new jobs to Scottsdale. And frankly, I think most city councils would be doing somersaults about that, excited. And for some reason with this one, we just can't get there, which is really challenging.
You know, I think the apartment part of it is the rub.
Sure.
Is there wiggle room in there between the 2,000 units that are projected and maybe something that would appease Scottsdale?
The short answer to that is sure. There's some back and forth. A few weeks ago, we were talking about the mix of condos versus apartments and so forth. But the real question is the city willing to actually get something done here? If we can get 4 votes to come to the table and negotiate with us, we would love that. Unfortunately, we've got 2 pro-business supporters in the city council with Councilwoman Whitehead and Councilwoman McAllen, and then the mayor will take her at face value that she's willing to come to the table. The real question is who's going to be that 4th vote, and that's where the challenge lies.
Let me play devil's advocate here.
Sure.
Those against the project say that after it was approved for light industrial use, which would have been a corporate headquarters, you went back and tried to have it rezoned so that you could add the residential component to it. Do they have a point?
Look, I think there was one minor detail in the middle of all that, which was the COVID pandemic,
Yeah.
and that changed a lot in corporate America.
Yeah.
And following COVID, when tech software engineers, other technical roles, they could start working remotely, it became harder and harder to recruit people to Arizona.
Yeah.
So our only opportunity, a lot of our talent is going to come from out of state because this is not a market where there's a ton of tech talent readily available. And so we had to pivot, and we said, look, to get folks to come in here, we need to attract them in here with an awesome campus where they can feel part of a community, where we can offer them great retail and dining, and they can feel some energy around where they work. And that's really the carrot that we're hoping is going to bring a lot of talent to Scottsdale.
And Josh, when did it become a part of a corporate game plan where it's not just a world headquarters, which will pump money into an economy, but when did it become something where you add retail and residential to a project?
Yeah, it's that same thinking. Is we want our headquarters to be an attractive place for people from out of state to come and live. If you look around Scottsdale right now, it's not cheap to live there. And when your other options are San Francisco or Seattle or Austin or New York or Boston or a number of other markets, Dallas, Miami, we need something here that gets people excited about being part of this community where it's frankly expensive and their only option is to live an hour from where they work. And we think that campus is that thing.
So last word, optimistic or pessimistic that something can be worked out?
Optimistic for one reason, and that's our conversations with Councilman Adam Quasman. I think he's the key swing vote here, and I think he's in a position to be a very powerful voice in Scottsdale for a long time, and hopefully he'll be somebody that will be part of building the bridge here to get everyone back together and get something done. So I've got confidence in him. We've had good conversations with him. He's done a nice job speaking publicly about this, and if we can get him there, then I'm optimistic.
Josh Eisner, president of Axon, good to see you.
Thank you very much
for coming
having
in tonight.
me.
I really appreciate it.
Appreciate that.
Coming up next.